All right, welcome, and today we have a very different kind of video that we're gonna try to shoot. I'm gonna be testing out some products that I've never opened, and I did that on purpose. The goal was to just kind of get my initial impressions as somebody who has never set up a hammock tent before. So I'm just gonna literally try it with the contents of the package and see what happens. Now, I have done a little bit of research about these, found out that it comes with pretty much everything you need. I kind of am sorry that I did though, because I found out what the price of these were after, I did that. And these both independently come in under $30. So the hammock tent itself is like $27 right now on sale, normally $35. And the same thing is kind of true for the tarp itself, which is about just under $30 as well. So I don't know how that's gonna make me feel, if it's gonna jade this experience or not, but that's a lot cheaper than I expected based on the way it came. So we're gonna go ahead and see what it looks like. We're gonna pull these out and then go from there. Now I wanna start with the hammock specifically. So you're gonna have all of the twine for this. I think this is for the bug netting. I'll put that down for now. You have the straps. So I'm glad to see that these are wide straps. They're not the widest of straps. Don't lose things in the underbrush here. But it should be better than if it was like actual rope, because you don't want to do any damage to the trees. So that's good to see. So there's that one. There's another one. And they're wrapped up with the kind of elastic cord. And then the actual hammock itself. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out. And here's the thing too. I like that they've actually attached the bag. So it's kind of attached to it. You're just gonna kind of fold it out like you would those stuff sacks. So pull the whole thing out. Easy enough. Now the most concerning part, as a tent that's only $30, like a hammock that's only 30 bucks, is the stitching up where all the things are attached. Now, you can see, at least I could see like where they've cut some shortcuts here, where they have the zipper going all the way out. But the thing is because they have excess, it's not gonna necessarily come undone. So it's not that it's gonna hurt, it just looks a certain way. Also, I should note that I found out that this plastic material, this nylon, is actually 100% recycled. From what they're saying, it's made of material that's picked up in the oceans and then recycled again. So that's pretty neat. I like that quite a bit. It has carabiners here. This whole thing, being a single, it's rated for 400 pounds, just under 400 pounds. So we're gonna go ahead and see if I can set this up without even looking at the instruction manual. I'm literally just gonna go for it. So the only thing is, it looks like I'm gonna need more space. So let me reset this here, get it into a better spot, and then see if I can find a better location for getting this all set up. All right, so this thing seems to be about as simple as it gets as far as straps, and that's good because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this thing up here. Now, if you have set up a hammock tent before, chime down in the comments if there's a better way to do this. I'm just gonna thread it through. And this thing has 17 slots that allow it to clip on to kind of give you tension. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to set this here, just like so, leave it, and then I have a tree behind us, and don't worry, I'm gonna reposition. A tree behind us I'm gonna set up as well. And I think this should have plenty of length for me to put something in the middle. This is just me trying to do this without any instruction whatsoever. See if I fail miserably. This is also going to be my first real test of this. This is the Insta360 Go 2. I've really enjoyed using it kind of for personal stuff because it's just something I don't have to think about. I could just take the camera out, and this is actually just the charging case and remote, and I can stick it on and just go. That's kind of the whole idea. And because I use my phone, which is what I'm filming on right now, all of the data is instantly transferred. There's no exchanging of cards or anything like that. So we'll see how that works out. I'm gonna use it when I'm in the hammock, assuming I can get it up. And we're just gonna kind of run with it, just kind of see what happens. So if you want to know more about this, let me know down in the comments. I'm just gonna guesstimate, see how high it is, give or take. I need to go up a little higher. There we go, easy enough. Now, like I said, I don't know how, actually this would work with a much bigger span between the two than what I'm using. I mean, look at how much I'm actually using here. I'm literally clipping it into the top section, the last spot. Interesting. All right, so let's redo this one. Bring it all the way up to the top spot. And I think I'm still really low, actually. Interesting. All right, so let's actually attach it to this back tree instead. Get myself a little more space to work with. Come here. You can kind of get the same similar height. And that's it, easy enough. All right, so let me put it into the second spot. There you go. That's something. So there's a little bit of a bow in it. That works. It's almost like I know what I'm doing or something. Now, I do think I do have to set up the bug netting, and I think that's where I'm going to show just how little I know about this stuff. Let's see how we do with that. All right. This goes through here. On that side. This goes through over here. Easy enough. Now, okay, you know, I'm just gonna make it simple. Make it very, very simple. I'm probably never gonna use this line again. I'm probably gonna end up using some kind of paracord, most likely. Just do a couple overhand knots, nothing special. And I will cinch it up. There you go. And then we'll go all the way over here and tie it up. Now let's see if I can remember how to do this. Get that, and then I forget how to do this thing. I just forget. It's okay. Maybe this is good enough. Let's see if I did it right. I don't think I did. But it'll work for now because we're just testing it. And that seems to be working. I'm not gonna lie. After this, I'm going to refresh myself on some of the knots that I've forgotten. But it's working. All right, so there we go. All right, so what do you think? Am I about to bust my butt on the ground here when I get in here? There's a good chance. There is a solid chance of that. So I will not be cutting it out if I do. So interestingly, okay, all right, easy enough. Ooh. All right. Huzzah. And then where's the zipper? On the inside. All right, that's the only thing I can't figure out. Is do I have to go all the way over here? So, is there a second? Okay, there is. I just have to go, you have to bring the two zippers to the middle. Lesson learned there. Okay, so let's try that again. Yeah, come here. All right. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of pressure on this zipper, and I think it's because I made that too taut. So I wouldn't do that. Don't make the bug netting too tight. Otherwise, you're gonna put pressure on that zipper that doesn't need to be there. You know what? I dig it. So this thing is rated for 440 pounds. Now, my wife and I together do not weigh 400 pounds. So we are gonna have to try this again But actually, that's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, just a moment here. Oh yeah. Okay, that's enough. So we need to get up the, okay, well, this is zipper. So what I would definitely do, definitely going to want to put some kind of colorful tab on that, on those zippers. Just something like an orange paracord, because finding those black zippers in the dark or whatever is going to be impossible. So something that they can do as well, which would be great if I didn't have to, but whatever. So that was pretty darn easy, to say the least. And I didn't get this quite right. I needed to lower this a little bit. Let me just lower this down just a little bit. Yeah, and that would have been better. Now, my guess is that the tarp is going to be much more difficult to set up properly. I've watched a few videos where they show the right way to do it, and I doubt I'm going to do it right. But it has supposedly everything you need to do it. So let's go ahead and open that up. Okay, so what comes in the tarp? Already I'm pretty happy. It feels more substantial than I worried it would be. Like a lot of times when they're inexpensive, they're thin, and this is going to be your rain tarp. It shouldn't be something that rips easily, and this feels pretty substantial. Oop. Stakes, I think it comes with aluminum stakes. We'll look at that in a second. And then our tarp. This is where I'm going to struggle, 100%. So let's take a look and see what we have inside. So my guess is I'm going to need to run another line across. Oh, interesting. Okay, so these come with adjusters. So I should be able to tension them after I set them. That's good. And then it also comes with aluminum stakes with, hey, OLIFE, can we put these on the tent, on the hammock, please? That's exactly what I'm looking for. Just put these on all the zippers. All right, please, that'd be great. No, but anyway, so here we go. We got tent stakes. All right, so we'll go ahead and try this and see if we can make it happen. You know, I was all good until they gave me this. This is going to be an absolute disaster, I can just tell already. I know it's a lot of work, but if you could just separate these, that would be great. And I'm worried that if I pull the wrong tab, oh wait, haha. So just grab the one in the middle and unravel it, it appears. And then it should all fall down. That's a lot of cordage of stuff all over the place. Yeah. So getting the tent up, super fast, easy. Getting this up, it's going to be harder, and I think it's pretty much just down to the cordage being like, you know. I didn't wrap it, so I don't know how to unwrap it. It's kind of a situation. Be right back. All right, so important to note here, there's two different sides of it. The more reflective side, I believe, is down. Or is it up? Yes, the more reflective side is down. Okay, just so everyone knows. You know, I bet between all of the leaves and the ruffling of all of this stuff, I bet you it's not that much fun to listen to, in retrospect. Okay, so here's the deal. Not knowing how to set up a tarp properly is a problem. Everything else about the hammock, if you just want the hammock, that part's really, really easy. But it's a whole different story if we're talking about the tarp. So I'm just gonna keep it really simple. All I'm gonna do is literally stake the two outer sides, and we'll see if I can set up one of the lines to kind of pull it out, kind of angle it. There's a lot of ways you can set this up, I'm sure. I'm genuinely not familiar with how to do this. I don't think it's for lack of components, but my knowledge of this, yeah, we're gonna have to redo this video at some point after I've learned how to do it properly. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just try it. Okay, so a couple things here. This is not the right way to do it, number one. Two, there is some instructions on the inside of the bag for the tarp that help you with it. So I didn't do that. So I probably should have done that. And yeah, I can understand how to do it now, but I just don't have the time. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna go inside. I'm just gonna show you kind of what it's set up as. I also wanna get some close-ups of the tarp itself. One thing I noticed as I was setting it up is that there's actually reinforcement along the edges, which is great. And I don't see, I like the size. What's one thing is that this is a pretty big tarp. It can span quite a big distance. So if you know what you're doing and you're setting it up in such a way that you kind of have it create an expanse versus a straight downward angle, it's gonna be really great to kind of work under. It's gonna be an entire workspace, not just, you know, a place to sleep. So let's go ahead and I'll just show you what it looks like from the inside, and then we'll call it. And we'll bring it inside and we'll talk about the hammock itself. Yeah, and go from there. All right, so as I said, I did not do that correctly, but let's go ahead and just get in and see what it looks like. I mean, even if I was doing a rush job, which I did, it's not the most luxurious hammock tent, but what I like, and the most important thing is, and I'll do it, let me do it right, here we go. There we go. Angled a little bit, there we go. That works for me. I don't know about you. But if I, especially in the summertime, I don't want to be on the ground, it's hot, I don't want to deal with the bugs, you just set up the hammock. I think more than anything else, maybe not even for camping yet, but just setting it up as something to sit back, relax, read a book. Yeah. And my wife's gonna love it. And I will tell you honestly, I requested this item specifically because I knew it would convince my wife to get out with me in the spring. And that is a good thing. So, yep. So far, so good. Let's go ahead inside and let's talk about it from then. Yeah. Okay, let's be honest. This was embarrassing for me to not be able to set up that appropriately. And I want to be able to do that. I don't have the time today to really demonstrate that. If you guys would like me to come back and do this properly, we will do exactly that, I promise, just not today. This was just to kind of get things shown to you as far as what this included. And for a total of less than $60, that's a lot of value. And it turns out they also have an underquilt, which I really should have asked for because it's about 42 degrees Fahrenheit right now outside. So it's not warm. So I definitely would have liked the underquilt. It would have been interesting to see it set up with everything else. But yeah, pretty cool. And made of 100% recycled materials. I like that. And what more do you want? It's got a bug net. It's got a tarp. Rock on. Well, I gotta say, that was pretty interesting. I think the biggest thing I learned here is that I haven't done this in a very, very long time, and that's embarrassing. But the hammock itself actually performed very well, and it went back in its package with very little muss or fuss. I even didn't wrap the straps particularly, you know, soundly or small, and it still all fit in the package without any issues. And then of course it has a compression strap as well. So that worked out great. The hammock overall from start to finish was something anybody could do, and it's pretty darn easy. The tarp on the other hand, now part of that is my own fault for not fully researching how to put it up properly in the first place, or even reading the instructions. I just wanted to see where, you know, how easy that would be. It would definitely have been doable had I done it the correct way, and it wouldn't have been an issue. However, one thing that I want to talk about is this. So I spent a good solid 20 minutes trying to jam this tarp into this bag. And you can feel it. It's like solid right here. It's solid all the way down to the bottom. I have no idea. Look at how much is left. I have no idea how they got this in here. Not only that, it was in there and it had all of these, which I'm gonna figure out a better way to store those properly, and the stakes. So all of these were in there, and somehow they fit into that bag. So my big thing with this is, sure, I can do it better, there's no question, but I would very much like to have seen it be a compression bag, be a little bit bigger than it is needed so that I can get it all in there and then I can cinch it down, kind of the way the hammock worked. I think it's kind of important. The hammock, the actual tarp itself is fantastic. It's got nice finished edges. I need to test it in the rain, so maybe we'll have to come out and do this again, but it's fine. It's plenty big enough. I think the biggest issue I'm having right now is just that the actual bag it comes in is a little bit too small if someone is just trying to get it in to the bag. Like, and I have done this before and never really had issues with these things. And this is the most I've ever seen sticking out of it after I, basically jammed it in without any of the strings or the stakes. So that's the only downside that I can see with the tarp. Just keep that in mind. You might want to get a compression bag to put this tarp into. And if you're doing that, maybe a different tarp makes more sense, one that comes with a compression bag, and they become a little bit more equalized in price. But if you just want a hammock, that you can kind of throw up in the springtime or fall, get out there and just relax, read a book, whatever it happens to be, or you want to go on a day hike, this might work. This actually might be a pretty good option. It's by far the cheapest one I've ever seen. And this is where I have a question for you guys. Would it have been better if I didn't know the price and then just was evaluating it and then found it out like later on, like a surprise? Let me know down in the comments. At $27, which is what it is right now with the sale, that's pretty amazing. I even like the straps that it came with. It was so easy to put up. And yeah, I'm impressed. So nice job. Nice job on this. I like the tarp as well. I'm just going to have to get a bag for it. But here we are. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And we'll talk again.